And hello, everyone. I am Xavier, starting off on the Stars Reach blind playthrough here. 5 o'clock Pacific, so hopefully the servers are up. Can't quite see the Discord right with what I've got over here, but... Oh, yep. Discord over for the Stars Reach side has their official playtest stream going on their end. So if you're over on that, can't blame you, that's where the real action is. But since I'm doing a stream, can't really go through and share what they're talking about because that'd be rude, privacy issues. And two, I'm coming at this blind. I do not want to get help from other people on this. I have not done a great deal of research. Pretty much what I've got is just overhearing Controlled Chaos go on and on about this in very glowing terms. But it sounds like it's going to be hitting all my high points. But aside from just a couple things I've heard about this, I don't know precisely what to expect or how it's going to play, and I'm looking forward to finding out. So, let me go grab the capture, push this over, and voila. So, first impression, basic start screen. I mean, we're pre-alpha. Anyone who's putting a great deal of effort into this is waste and resources. But one thing that I did spot just while loading this up, that could get to be a bit of a distraction for a while here. But you know, it's nice. Alright, game music is fairly loud over on my side, though it looks like it's muted lower on the channel. So, anyone comes in, please let me know how it's going. I can barely hear myself talk, so I'm probably going to be turning this down. Create. Sure, of course. And now, if I recall correctly, well, I did hear that this is all going to be randomized, so it doesn't actually matter what I pick, because this should be changing every time I swap into a different zone. But from what I heard, one of the races was highly experimental and kind of exploded their home planet. But, you know, that's a vibe. I can go with that. Don't think it was these ones. Not sure here. I think they have the horns. And hey, everyone likes horns anyway. And I'll leave the cats for someone else someday. Go ahead here. And enter. Definitely gonna have to grab the settings menu very first thing. Because I always play with inverted mouse. I know a lot of people go say it's heresy and all that, but one of my first-person games was X-Wing over on the PC, so I'm used to inverted look controls. Alright. Got handbook, so built-in tutorial, good to see. Welcome, Reacher. Here at TPL, wish to ensure you have the maximum chance to survive your adventure on this bold new world. Would you like guidance during your first steps? Well, I would be a little playing things false about this here to not take the tutorial, because hey, trying to see what all does the game offer on this, and while I have a lot of experience, I don't know everything. So let's see what we got here. Build handbook, open, close by F1. Yep. Basic but effective. A little bit of texture on it there. Clean font. Okay, can't drag that around. Alright, 3 bars, health, stamina. Oh, health, focus, stamina. Minor thing, but eh. I'm gonna move fatigue or drain fully. Turn to camp, alright. Watch people dance for a bit. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Back to Star Wars. But hey, considering what some of the people who worked on this came from, that is of no surprise. And, you know, a little bit of mandatory socialization. It's not like we have to talk on it there for us people. There you are, controlled chaos. And, I mean, cats are nice, obviously. I'd certainly enjoy them. I know sometimes I'm just feeling a bit more horny. Boom. Tool belt. 4 slots. 4 slots. 1 through 4. And key second time holster. Alright, no feedback on this side here. But it does reflect on the character, so that's nice. Alright. Long camp. Okay, so effectively you choose your loadout back when you're before you go into the field. So effectively, like, sounds like kind of creating a build on it there, which that's a nice touch. Helps keep things somewhat under control, I'd imagine. Alright, change out to tool, do the following. Okay, it's not visible over on the inventory screen. Alright. Inventory drag to slot. I get to close it. Alright. Okay, apparently we cannot do that at this point. Pre-alpha, it happens. Alright, customizable clothing, customizable grappler. Default. Alright. I know I saw in the patch notes something about the consumable menu. Maybe that'll unlock a bit later here. Alright, big crafting kit. Okay, customize. Already promising. I'll definitely look forward to getting into that, because that's my main thing for MMOs, is I prefer to harvest and craft. That is my big draw. Combat, yeah, it's always fun, of course. Well, assuming the game mechanics allow it to be fun. But it's not my primary purpose. I enjoy building a lot more. Alright, so... cannot actually do that one right now. Alright, Terraformer, ba-boom. Let's move away from the portal area. I've heard some horror stories about what can happen there. Alright, minimize. Okay, mouse look is not on by default. Okay, but it does auto-aim at what you're pointing at, so that's visually a nice touch. Okay, but let's go... controls, inverted camera access. Yes, I need that. No controls menu, no credits menu. So I guess I will just have to deal with that. Okay, hold right for mouse look to freeze the cursor. Okay, sprint with shift, jump with space. Avoid the giant pit that someone's digging out. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Glowing thing over there. Shade. No, that's just shadow. And just because I'm in a tutorial doesn't mean I shouldn't at least attempt to get something interesting. And hey, that's shiny. Green, maybe copper. Warp. Sand, glass, and chert. Remember, chert's a type of stone. Don't remember what's special about it. I'm interested to see if we have actually different stone types on here. Though I think I did hear about like stuff like granite, so that might be a nice touch. Okay, percentage bar, so that's probably the load that it's pulled up, or inventory space. I have to double check on that here. Okay, zoom control with mouse wheel. Nice. Oh, there was something I was able to do here. Controlling the radius, but that is not pop up again, so I'll have to find out what that was about later. Ah, here we go. Key, switch between reticle modes. Free and fixed, boom. Okay, much nicer. Meteor showers. I heard about these. Owl, freaking owl. Let's keep moving. Nice little surprise. 20 minutes of this? Oh. Alright. And there goes my stamina. Alright, Death Hog. Exactly what I want to have over here. And I cannot hear myself over all that. Okay, so that was the area. Oh. Okay, event ended, so not even 20... Is that 20 minutes? 20 seconds? No, I saw a different countdown. Maybe they just got them going on very short term here. Okay. Back to the tutorial. Oh, God. Okay, combat tutorial. That's what you get. Whoa, speed boost, okay. That can be dangerous if it runs out at just the wrong time, but it is fun. And there he goes. Definitely a surprise, Chaos. Get a couple moments notice and then whoosh. Okay, let's get back into the safe zone first here, just in case something else comes up while I'm reading. Okay, and then it saves your stuff once you get in. Interesting, cool. Keep all equipment in the world. Interact by getting close, hit G. Conditions, relive, blah, blah. Other people, giving permissions. Alright, cool. Servers are not currently allowing us to build starships. That's another thing I'm definitely looking forward to. Especially with what I heard about the crafting. Because Space Engineers is another big one of the games that I enjoy. And hey, make a custom spaceship, get it off the ground, and get going. Yeah, V. This is... And yeah, this level here, sure, it looks just like... Oh, just run around on the planet doing whatever. The entire thing is you're supposed to be going around an entire galaxy. And you can't really do that if you're trapped on just one world. And portals are a decent shortcut, but there's going to be... From what I've heard from Chaos, there's going to be space combat, there's going to be asteroid mining, just hopefully, ideally, star bases, consensual PvP, so should be able to get some interesting fleet battles going on there. Especially since, as I recall hearing, some of the developers had something to do with PlanetSide, so combined arms. It's like war in air, land, space, all over. That, and when faction stuff starts happening, that should get interesting. And then, of course, we'll have the little war merchants sitting over on the side getting rich off it all, so that's where I kind of plan to be. But we'll see what happens. Alright. Provided Wormgate portals connect us to deep space location where other portals lead to other portals. The blue beacon, follow to its source, hit G to go somewhere else. No, I'm not going to fund the wars, V. I'm going to profit off of them. Clear difference. I'm not going to start one, but hey, if it's happening, why shouldn't I benefit? Alright, all we can do for you, don't get handbook. Okay, slash tutorial, let's bring it back up. Like to say we'll be here for you. We're light years away. Advise that you make other friends. Beware the bunnies. Now, unfortunately, that's something that I've heard about. But I'm sure it's not all the bunnies, right? I mean, their funding is coming from their own factions. Then they give the funding to me. That's the point of all this. Now, I might be encouraging the effort, Connect with real life. What does this do? Okay, set spawn point. Got it. Okay, we have toolmaker, we have refinery, stove, lathe. Alright, so different parts here. Well, go into refinery. I have no recipes for that. Cool. Let's actually check out the help menu real fast here, see what we got. Alright. Not actual links on it here. Could be a nice touch for later on, but not really important at this point in the game. And we've got little, here's where it goes anyway. Alright. Omni Blaster, go flying creatures to kill. Did that. Weapons, specials, shields. Alright. That. Resource gathering, yes. Harvester and Terraformer, did some of that. Alright, exploring. Pathfire, keep your Trailblazer. Let's see what that one is. Let's survey nodes. Alright, now quick detail there. It sounds like, okay, find cool places and get points for that. And given that the worlds are semi-randomly generated, have to see how that turns out. Right, first objective is craft a grapple. So much easier to get around. And I like crafting. Workstations found near any planetary portal. Can also craft them and add them to a homestead. And of course you can have other players do stuff, go back and forth, have them harvest, but I like just closing the loop for myself. Who needs middlemen? Alright. Let's find out. And okay, get the XP to go get the skill nodes, get the resources, get toolmaker, equip it. Okay. So I did notice that one was on there already. Okay, probably that guy doing crafting work. Oh. Yeah, I don't count that as a skirt, that's a tunic. Anyway, got that. Oh, hey, controls. Probably could have looked at that earlier, but whatever. Alright, tab to change tool modes. Maybe that's something I bumped over there. Tools. Boom. Yep, sprint, food radials. Grab. I think that was, well, I guess that was probably slow fall and or flight, from what I recall hearing. Okay, dodge mode. Okay, space down, so probably useless right now. Fields. Okay, toggle run walk. Movement modes. Okay, slow, fast, really fast. Okay, dodge rolls, good. Whoop. Okay, so that's where the grapple kind of. So I guess you have a kind of a tether and then a grapple separate from that. But all right. Okay, hold spacebar, start flying. Use stamina. Don't run out in midair. Good advice. Emotes. Okay, slash command for now. Moods. Same there. Okay, change facial expressions. Yep. Nice, solid basics. Dancing moons. Okay, so someone else has to dance, but then you can just look at them while they do that there. Alright. Skill trees. And see how to get to the skill trees, but no, that was under keys. Yep, K for skills. Fairly standard. Alright, take a look at that there. Harvester. Range. Alright, that grabs the plants. Terraformer. Yep, so extract. Analysis. Okay, quick analysis. I'll be there. Alright, work in progress. Always good to know what is and is not available to be tested when you're taking a look at things before it's launch time. As no dev likes to be told, hey, this is busted, when they know full well that it's not ready to be looked at yet. Many people have talked about that, and unfortunately, some testers still need to figure that out. Alright. Forming. Okay, so you have to get the skill node to put stuff back. That's fair. Chrono phasing, yeah. Heard a little about this part on here, so... Or at least that stuff, like, there's a lot of more variation besides just, okay, put material down, pick material up. There's supposed to be, like, interactions between, like, fluid and landscape, and... What's that? Entropy effects, dance time, so change stone into gravel, and be interesting there, see what combinations are possible. pH balance for soil. Okay. And that is fair, especially if they've got plants that need the different pHs. Prospecting. Oh, newly added. Okay, so it helps you actually find what you're looking for, so that will be handy. Okay, so be in prospect. So switch prospect mode, left click, get a tip on what's going on there. We'll need to check through. All right, all right. See how that well works out. Trailblazer, see what that was talking about. All right. Flamethrower, freeze ray, flares. Saw some environmental modifications there. And of course, just everyone loves a good flamethrower. Pathfinder skill survey. All right, find the survey node. So Pathfinder lets you find the node. Get close. Survey. All right. Yeah, so zip around the world. Find the glowies. Cool. That's always fun. Armed blaster that I've got now. Drone something to get later. Gravity gun get later. I mean, controlled burns are very important for forest health. I mean, gotta get rid of all the old underbrush so that the new plants can grow properly. Okay, overcharge, hold left mouse. Alright, specials. Probably have to get those with unlocks. Shot. Doom Blossom. ah, the legally distinct Death Blossom probably involves a whole lot less spinning around than the last Starfighter. Specials, nodes. Okay, so you get a shield that harms. So drones sound kind of like Toho mode. There's always a chance, no matter how small, that any game can turn into Toho at a moment's notice. First. Alright, cool there. And throw guys around. Cool. Fields. Okay, so a fortress. Just flat stop. Area effect passes through. Good to know. Reflection. Shield, bounce back. All damage stop, reflecting to hit enemies. But drains faster. Alright, so shields don't help against AoE, so always gotta watch your placements. Good to know there. Helix, Golden Beam, heal ally it hits. Target heal over time. Oh, also 2 mature trees. Good to know. It is nice how stuff has multiple purposes in there, so it's not just you must use this one tool for this one thing. That's bundle stuff together where it makes sense. Make things a bit easier and a bit more immersive too. Building, the big important part here. Window appears, rotate, left click, then rotate, QE, change axis. All right. Oh, tab, change axis, QE, rotate around. Yeah. That's fairly solid there. Undo, redo. Not many not many games that have building have those. That is a very nice touch. I will say that. Duplicate, also a very good, useful shortcut. Cool. Okay, paving. All right, so basically make roads or dirt paths, whatever. There, cool. Insta-former. All right. Good. Camping. Need a camp kit. Got one of those already. Yeah, stack of 3. Cool. There, move around. Boom. Okay, so basically just plant a spawn point and a basic little resource center out somewhere in the wilds, all for yourself. Only lasts a limited amount of time. That's fair, because you definitely temporary things, and everyone who's played a PvE-based survival game knows that if there's no way to actually remove buildings, certain areas are just going to get horribly overpopulated. Remember what happened back over in H1Z1 in the survive mode on that, on the PvE servers. You'd get... people would definitely mess around on it there, and stuff would just get completely blocked off. Completely unnecessarily, and sure, you don't have to worry about being just shot in the back while you're doing harvesting, like you would on PvP, but there's also nothing you can do to get rid of someone who's decided to block off, say, a hospital in that case, and other than hoping that their claim time's out, which means that they own it till they get bored. Like, fairly limited scale for the camps, and the camps also aren't really big major things. And I do recall seeing, oh, next step on here, homesteading, for those big, longer term ideas. Campsite skill nodes, max it out, then get homestead. All right, so it's not just, you can't just jump in and start planting stuff. Cool. Four screen. Yep, and limited number of plots on there. And I do know that's also part of what basically the premium is going to be, is determines the territory that you can actually control personally. And there were those little notes over on the Kickstarter there where, yeah, some people, if you were willing to shell out triple digits or more, you can get it a lifetime subscription effectively. But hey, if you can afford it, great. Especially if you've got the game looking forward to it. Save you money over the long run, gives them a quick burst at the beginning. In other words, if you couldn't afford it then, or at least there was the option to upgrade. Never really got a clear answer on that, or how those little tokens worked, but honestly, don't quite have enough to worry about doing that anyway, so for me, the question's kind of moot. I'm sure there's other people out there. Forestry. This is where the gunk people were talking about, huh? Oh, this one is taking down the trees. Oh, there we go. And you can also replant the second side. Nice to have those on the same thing. All right. All right, the power-ups. All right, so those booster that I picked up. Okay, do not touch the red ones. Well, actually, no, damage enemy creature, so maybe touch the red ones. Not bad. Vulnerability, handy, supercharge, restore health, or restore everything to max. Useful. Alright. Basic crafting. Thought again, lifetime homestead tier. Chose not to want to support the game long term by paying for my homestead plots. Yeah, that is an approach that's fair to take. Not, I can't, no. I'm not really a great judge of people, apparently, so. I get some people who just want to go for the long term, other people just put it in once and don't have to worry about it again. But, I mean, there's benefits for the devs either way, otherwise I wouldn't have made that an option. Alright, tools, yep, saw those over here. Okay. Okay, so lathe is mostly for making construction materials. Grinders for that here, stove for cooking. Makes sense. And, alright, so consumables in general. And then toolmaker for the actual equipment. Resources. That is a list. Okay, yep. There's different, good amount of different rock types on it there. Geology specialist. Hopefully they'll enjoy this. Wide range of metals. Ideally all with different stats on them. So that should be good to see how those affect it. Antimatter as a metal. Just as important as lithium. We'll see what happens. Shroom guards. Dark wizards or refine it. Okay, anti-gravium. Get it from dark wizards or you can refine it. Get antimatter from shroom guards. Alright. Dark palladium. Alright. Nice. Some tips there so you don't have to go completely wandering around. Okay, lots of stuff to play with on that one. Refinery recipes. Okay, yeah, get good stuff from your basic soils and rocks. Sure. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. So, magnetite, magnetite. So you basically get iron out of that. Okay, what's skin exploding over there? Oh, what the heck? Let's check it out. That's a magma pit. Nice little bit of world shaping, and someone has dug a giant trench. No, not giant. It'll be annoying to trip into. Yeah. Oh, and it continues to sink. Interesting. Glass. Well, that's fair. The way that's warbling around, the displacement maps for the planets are going a little bit crazy there. You have to take a look at that outside of this sort of thing. Oh, hey, diamonds. The first come, first served for this stuff. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's climbing. It's an animation. You. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that was me actually just dumping stuff back in the world. Oh, some plants down there. Let's take a look at that again. Okay, yeah. Dump Scrabble. Alright. Yep, I have inventory fair. Alright, stuff here. Oh, not just meat. Hyper meat. Nice. Ooh, precious dummy. Yeah, that would not be... I mean, okay, I can see it being fun from a reaction standpoint, but from an in-world standpoint, not quite so much. Especially because it means they then lose all that time having to respawn and run back. Ask. Power cells. Alright, yeah, those are what we're talking about here. Just move that down. Spike bugs me a bit. And since we got folks in there, when the game audio is going like that, how does that compare with my voice? Because again, on my side, it completely overwhelms my being able to hear myself. So I want to make sure that you folks can actually still hear over on that end. All right, perfect. Thanks to Controlled Gas for helping out with the filter settings on this. V, I'll get those bounced over to you afterwards so you can use them on your side too. Of course, Day already helped you out on them. You don't get those perms, V. Bad kitty. Good to hear, Chaos. Yeah, apparently there were some issues over on the last stream, but hey, first stream, stuff happens. That sounds a bit spooky for Harvester. I kind of like it. And V, that is the secret. So for something that looks like just a little critter with a long, cute little snout, it sounds like an eldritch monstrosity. But hey, I think eldritch monstrosities are kind of cool. Yeah, V. Okay, no stamina for hopping, so... Full damage? Not from that height. Let's check from up here. Little cave. Yeah, okay, probably just a little... Either someone found some resources and yanked them out, or it could be naturally forming. Okay. Little Breath of the Wild influence, maybe, with the stamina meters dropping on that. Well, also makes fair sense by itself, but feels very much like what I've seen on that. But a whole lot more generous. Poor Link just does not have staying power. And you know, it would make perfect sense for there to be a survey node up at the top of this. Stamina back here. And I get the point of adding the ambient audio, but this much bird sound for an arid desert does not quite match. But at least you know that the ambient's playing, so good for testing purposes. Almost at the top here. A little more. Good lens flare. Queen of the world. Someone's got a little camp set up. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not full world at this point here. They do have finite play spaces rather than being able to go all the way around. It's here that, at the very least, increasing the size of the play field is one of the goals. Would definitely be cool to be able to go whole planets, No Man's Sky style. I mean, I am trying to be at least somewhat professional, V. Lens flare, no lens flare. Lens flare, no lens flare. Random flying creatures. Everyone loves ambient birdies. Okay, I'm pretty sure they're just straight ambient and not actual spawn critters. Yep. Cannot shoot down the birdies. Important test. Now, the big reason I came up here, besides, you know, the view and seeing if there was anything interesting to scan. I did. They're immortal. You're fine, V. Flying leap. Cleared it. Crunch. So, full damage check. Confirmed. Oh, thank you. Yeah, nice random players. Little sparky pistol. But again, pre-alpha effects nowhere near final. There's some cubes flying around. And now it's Toho. And I appear to be frozen. Okay. Nice little mid-air freeze. You imagine with the name with the glacier horn. Who could have imagined that they'd pull something like that off, huh? Two of them may have been a little bit ambitious. I had an unlocked tri-shot, fair. The actual effect on the charged shot is tricky. Doesn't really give feedback on how effective it is, especially because it seems to vanish partway there. Single shot seems to work a lot better than charging with the default one. Yep. Mud wave. Ah, no, just slash. Okay, cool. Alright, so you got slash emote for your good old freeform RP, and then you got your pre-canned animations. Nice touch. Yeah, V. That's the sort of stuff you do as a tester. At least I'm not doing the face roll along a mountain test. It's, hey, you gotta make sure those colliders work. Well, someone has to. I think I'll pass on doing that one, because those tests were always super boring. Unless you found really weird stuff. Then they get fun real fast. Somebody's campsite. It's kind of like an impact crater. This seems a bit more regular, so maybe someone decided to just sand this area down to make a ramp into the canyon. Or could be natural. They haven't unlocked assaying, so I can't see what there is here. Yeah, I don't... Oh. Diggy diggy hole over there. Okay, so either... Oh, no, I did pick some stuff up. Hopefully that wasn't someone's garden plot. Under the sea. And that's as much as I sing, so Disney don't sue me. And I can't sing either. Anyway. Okay, so... I think I saw in patch notes that Liquid's basically just kind of a visual effect for the most part right now. Didn't seem to have any sort of breath meter. Let's see. Okay, just environmental butterflies. Cannot currently catch them. Mild disappointment. Expected, but... Okay, save that stuff here. While I'm wandering around, let's take a look at the skill trees. Okay. A basic harvester, then unlock these. You have to get there from botany first. Fair. And also... You know I've got, at most, half an octave range. And that's split into 2 different octaves entirely. Still think that's being generous. We know who the singer here is. I'm at basic. Okay, basic tools. Omniblaster, so that's one that you start with. Okay, 200 to get specials out of it. 100 for new gear. Okay. Idle cat over there. Oop, grappling hook. Yay. Fine. Hopper. Rate of attraction, good one. Okay, so we got that. Yeah, you will. Okay, tab prospect. Basic there. Notification. Oh, grapple recipe is free. Why not? It's useful. I can see a part of the tutorial. I'm not sure if that's what they need it to be, but I'll have to see what happens with that. Waypoints. More for group there, I'd imagine, for local. Okay, camp of maximum size. So you have to get down to here. So you'd think these could be arranged below, but that's UI work. That is way down the line from where we're at right now. And so, okay, so the camp size just includes the basics in there. You don't actually have to make them and then deploy them. So I guess you're not really... So at this point, we're not actually putting down equipment, crafting stations, and all that on the homesteads either. From what I can gather. Camp durations. Alright. Oh, I have to see. Again, still pre-alpha on stuff, so... There's items. Yeah, found critters. And yes, I call the plants critters. They're just very stationary critters. And now we've got the aggressive plants. Okay, 15 total, at least for... I wonder if this is world-based or throughout the entire thing. I'm supposed to find out when I find the portal to the next planet. Owl deer. Makes about as much sense as owlbears. I've got to work on leaning in my chair because I just looked over at my bottle. What was I doing? Okay. Go around the same stuff. I'm glad you've got a nice variant over there. Okay, forestry skill tree, and then again, forestry skill tree leads to... Okay, harvesting, which is why we need to pull down from those guys. Yeah, why not? That can't do anything with combat yet. Okay, so that's just that here. The trial. Trials and travails. I was supposed to have for storage, it'd be trials and travoices. Trees. Yes, I don't have one of these yet. Okay, yeah, no matching items. So I'm going to go refine some goodies before I can do that. And I did not yet... Yeah, I have not yet picked up refining. Well, time to grind. Quartz, salt, diamonds. Iron's always handy. Oh, yeah, that's the camp down there. Yeah, I just said time to grind. You're the one calling it lewd. Feels like there should be an option over on alt-click here. Or right mouse, alt-fire. All the sand. It's appreciated, Chaos. There's the first look idea here. No help I mean, I suppose I'll accept a random res on there. That's fair. But no one dropping me stuff. No one telling me what to do, where to go. There's probably a solution to this, but I also don't think it's likely to be a terribly easy one. Though I do, does look like they've got it to where it's not actually showing the other tunnels. Because, yeah, no, there's one over there. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, there's that one. So, yeah, you can see through. So you can, if you dig very carefully, you can put yourself into X-ray mode. But because it's all surface-based like this rather than individual blocks like it would be in, say, Minecraft. Yeah, good, Chaos. Let it scream. Let's just go this way. Yeah, just resting on down into the depths of the world. And you can't blame that on me. That's just what this tunnel looks like from the outside. Let me try. Okay. That is one nice thing about these headphones here. It's got a little mode where it'll actually reflect my voice back to me. So I can actually hear myself talk again. Which, admittedly, a lot of people don't care for, but it just feels odd, like I need to be shouting without it here. But, hey, if I don't need to, let's not blow out people's speakers. And no, V, we're not blowing anything else either. You wanted to, I could tell. Well, in that case, it's always time to slander the cat. So that's the inventory space marker on there. But then where is the charge marker on this thing? Because I know it keeps going. But it doesn't show how long you can keep going. That it... Ah, there it is. Over on the right. Makes sense. But not immediately obvious either. Feels like it would be good to have it around the reticule. Good grip strength. That Okay. And you can just hang on there. Let your stamina recover. It only drops while you're moving, not while you're holding. Good to know. And yeah, thanks, guys, for again for the audio, because that is going to be making everyone's life so much better. Lockhart has emerged revenge on those who slaughtered the deer population. I have only killed 2. I'm sure I'm fine. I'm also completely lost in here. Alright, so let's dump all the waste material out of... Oh, it is? Cool. Bit of media that I have no idea what it is. I can't all know everything. Oh, that's what that thing was called? I just remember just slamming in and damn near insta-killing. Of course, you lied about things having names before, too. Yeah, further away. Okay. So if you randomly fill yourself in, you can just spontaneously die. Good to know. All right. Hey, I've got a waypoint for where I died. Cool. You happy then, Chaos? So how many times has that happened to you, I wonder? Suddenly I have to wonder, am I running towards my grave marker or am I running towards the critter marker? I think I died over in this area. Okay, that's a lot of critters. Oh, that's fair then. Nope. That is a boss marker. That is not my loot box. If I even... Okay, I think I still have all my stuff. Okay, first let's get away from the thing that's probably going to try to crush my skull. Oh, a little hoppy. Oh, cats. Yay. Wow. 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 All is well in the world. Surrounded by cats and got a cat girl to verbal stem. Panting rather heavily for being crouched and stationary. That seems a little odd. Power walking. Okay, so let's combat weapons. Two things. Wounds, yeah, there's that. Doesn't... Okay. Oh, I never actually checked on these before. But they're not terribly useful at the moment. Anyway, because we don't have space quite yet. But that is not something... Death penalty, whether there is one or isn't. So I thought it looked like there was something. Again, when I fell over before, I didn't. On save stuff, I guess that just sets it as a respawn point. Okay, so since it's something that is not covered in here, and doing a great deal of exploration, well, not really exploration, but just messing around trying to find out a simple thing, I'm going to go ahead and phone a friend. Chaos, is there actually a death penalty in this, or is it just your little stat caps go down for a bit until you take the time to get restored again? Like, do I have to worry about tracking down any inventory that may have fallen out of there? XP loss, anything like that? And a lot of stuff. And okay, that I may need to. I just realized that the HUD is showing up in front of my shirt. I may have adjusted things a little wrong. Okay, so there is that stuff here. So now I just need to figure out where that was. Okay, so I do see a benefit now for local waypoints. Beep, beep. 1 of 64. Yay. Okay. So basically you got a little radar ping to find out where the stuff is then. With no directional markers, so you gotta go purely by sound until you get close enough. I'm right here. Let me click. Might be leg, might be something else. Who knows? But as I was about to say, note to self, get local waypoint skill. And when going out and doing anything risky, set one so you can find your body afterwards. Because that little stuff that I dug down in there, I'm pretty sure is just gone. Trying to find where I actually started from with all this. I know I've got some of the stuff, but I came back from one. It's not like it was anything other than just basic source stone. Sand, glass. Riot light. Here we go. That's what I was harvesting before. Okay, looks like he kept the hopper level about where it was. Alright. Enjoy your break, Chaos. Yeah, it has been about an hour on here, so if anyone needs to wander off for a bit, feel free. I'm just going to be zapping stuff at surface level rather than going down deep. But we'll see if I can undermine something. Cut it off entirely, see if it collapses. Okay, train deformation does seem to have a bit more of an effect when in free mouse rather than in target. Dump some stuff here. Dump the junk. Alright, this bit's gonna take a little to carve through. Oh, nice relaxing music in there. Okay. We have 3 on 5 sides. Can we trigger a... Well, that's something? Nope, just Rhyolite still. Alright, it's just a glitch in the mesh. Which is fair. When you're doing this sort of deformation, it's... You're going to get little patches missing every now and then. Again, probably a way to fix it in live. Probably not a terribly important issue with what they're working on at the moment. But hey, I'll have to... Let's see... Here. Well, the chat's not really going to be helpful with this because it's not... Well, one, my mouse is stuck. Still stuck even on the escape, so I'll have to alt-tab out to do that. Where is my time? Yeah. If I had an uptime command... Ignore that. No one needs to know that I have a bazillion windows open at any given point in time. And that might not even show on OBS. Oh, okay. So when the background's not in the way, it's just when it's overlapping with the game for some reason. Huh. I have to experiment with that, but I'll do that off stream some later time. Figure out what's going on that front. All right. What was I doing? I was opening up a note. Oop. Grab that over here. Find my stream. All right. hour 20 in. Invisible mesh patch, hour 20. Cool. Let's actually write that on the note so I know what I'm talking about. Hope those clacks came through. Well, I like them. If you don't like them, then hope they didn't. But we'll see what happens. Oh, and there's the basic volume control for everything. Again, basic is fine at this point. Now, try that again for Carve It Away. Floating stones or avalanche? What do folks think I'll get? Looks almost like melting chitin rather than stone. Kind of like the texture you'd expect to see over on Xenomorph Hive. Probably just from the fact that, you know, it's glowing purple because of this. And there we go. I believe that is fully undercut. Loading stones it is. Apparently it does not... Oh, okay, it does fall eventually. Just takes a bit for the world to realize that gravity needs to apply. Cool. So I could have completely crushed myself there. And of course, Chaos would have gotten another laugh, but he actually missed the entire thing because he was off on break. Too bad. Yes, he'll have to watch the VOD. Okay, save my inventory. Yeah, chunk over here. Skill points. Okay, that got me a nice chunk. So I need to... Boom. Little messy, but it definitely points things out. Oh, there's all the refining skills. Okay, Ranger. Local waypoints, so I don't have to make that mistake again. Combat didn't do anything. Botany didn't do anything. Okay, so we got tags for it here. I have no idea about the status because that is... Crafting stats in chat. Did anything actually... So it did. All right, so... It got pushed way off. Okay. Note to self, cannot adjust the chat box while you are in direct mode, despite being able to access it and still... So we do this, enter, bring up chat, move it around, but it doesn't stay put. Or I just collapse, I just clash of the various little... No, don't do that. of the various interface options. Okay, oh, quality 5. Okay, so you can see when you assay. That's been noted on our records. Sassy. All right. Okay, so this says it goes to deep space. What the heck, I gotta save. Let's see. Before I do that, let's go ahead and make that grappling hook. Filter down to just can craft. Okay, so the amount you put in will then let you actually... Okay, so it's not just take X amount, refine it, get Y, Z, A, B, C, whatever. It's you choose specifically what you're looking for, and then you pull from your main stores, which is fair. It lets you be a bit more targeted, get kind of less scattered stuff on it there. Inventory, okay. Is a finite limit to the list. I don't think it said anything about there being storage items, but I saw something somewhere else about needing to delete things. So either there are enough item slots for everything in the game, or you're going to have to be picky. Okay. Nice that tracks when I'm shifting around in my chair, which, you know, I do a fair bit. Let's get OBS up directly on it here. So I don't have to deal with having this big delay when I look over at my other screen. Okay, so first, let's actually take a look and see what I need to make. So I wanted to make the grappler. I've got the recipe for it. So we go inventory, recipe, basic grapple, though I think this is one of them. Because according to this, I already have one. Controls, grapple, say R. Okay, already have a grappler, no point in making one. I mean, I suppose I might be able to make a better one in theory here. If that's in at this point. Quality potential versatility, though. Who knows what that would actually mean? Oh, versatility. Alright, that's all stats 100. Well, let's do a quick check. I'm standing right next to it. How is that out of range? Okay. Got aim at the far point. That's nothing. Alright. Boom, boom. Okay, so this gives it 50. Okay, then that again. Okay, fill, craft. Boom. Okay, randomizes the stats for each one. Welcome back, Ass. So then when I go in here, though, all of... doesn't actually matter what the stats are because they all got accumulated into one pile. So I go back to Munchie Grappler, Gemstone. Agate. So it's whichever one was in last determines the stats for the entire stack. Because that is what was shown before. I'm going to make the assumption that the system is not finished yet on this one, because again, still pre-alpha. I definitely hope that's not finished, because the way that works does not feel good. Can I take it by type? Metal, no. Hat metal, no. Pound metal, no. Okay. Okay. Meat kebab. Yay. Okay, I do not have... Well, this should refine down. So then if I go to tin... Asteroid, I just don't have enough for it. Or maybe that was its stats. It's just not saving what these stats were. But I know this was showing different values. It would be nice if it actually showed them over in here so you don't have to go into the crafting menu, but minor thing. Alright, well, that's a bit on mineralogy. I can see potential in it there. The interface is going to be a lot of what determines how good that is. I can see bones in it, and that's nice. But a lot of stuff needs to be communicated for it to be meaningful on here, and at this stage of the UI, that's difficult to get through effectively. And hey, I'm a coder. I know coder interfaces tend to be very basic. And again, I said many times during all this, pre-alpha. Something to look forward to for later builds. Let's go with that. No. Let's go from the fungi. Let's go Zappy Zappy, the horrible monster. Feels almost like the skiing tech out of Scribes. I wonder if I was just imagining that or if that actually is what was happening. Alright, I'm going on my... Whoa, that's a big... Very big critter. Okay. Also partway in the ground, it seems. And I am almost dead. Yay. Can I hide in you? Yes, I can. Campsites are not... Campsites are not locked to a single person. It's an angry shroom. And I'm pretty sure I didn't even hurt it. No, don't climb a tree. Run away. Very angry mushroom. Says this ball hog, I'm going to just say it's an angry bird. It's zapped. So someone either died or got logged out. Right, because that's a special. It's G to interact. Well, something clearly happened there. Good luck, whoever's fighting that. I am not doing it. Bravely, bravely ran away. Brave, brave Miss Abby. Yeah, no swimming movement modes. Okay, so it needed the slicer thingy. Xylo slicer, there we go. Tier 1 metal, tier 3 metal, and plastic. Well, in theory, I've got recipes for all of those. Alright, tier 1. So the only metal I can currently make is tin, which is tier 2, which is completely useless for all of these. Yay. Alright, iron tier 1. Are there different types of plastics? Not according to that. Binary. Alright, let's go here. Other. Okay, oil into carbon. Carbon not into anything else. If there is oil, then logically oil should lead to plastic, because that's how it works. Agent coal graphite. You have to chronophase plastic. That would be kind of silly. Pretty sure it's a little more involved than that. Does not say. Back into here. Recipe. Okay, is plastic just a thing by itself? That's banana plaster. Okay. I mean, silly stuff's good. Just wasn't quite expecting that. Oh, so we got methane. That would make sense. All right, definitely things I would like to see on this is search by type. You can narrow things down a little easier so you can know what to look for. All this stuff I don't need right now. So I am forced to wonder if plastic is even in the game at this point. Well, let's check. Skill tree, neurology, resource for more useful states. Thought I saw something on there that are saying it, but no. Check through the unlocks list, see if it says anything in here. And around. Oh, oil, methane. Might be in here if it's anywhere. Azurite. Lapis lazuli, all very nice minerals. Pitch blend, always fun. Okay. Nothing that calls out plastic explicitly. If there is a variation of plastic, it is going to be a nightmare to try and track it down through that crafting list. So it would ideally be on the list of resources, but it does not appear to be. Which may then mean that there might not be a way to actually make the Xylo slicer. Zyto slicer, whatever. There we go. Recipes. Xylo slicer. Alright, phone a friend moment, Chaos. Does plastic exist and can you actually make that tool? Yeah, something to have to poke around for. Not immediately obvious. Or if that's my item box that I just now finally got a marker for. Actually, it might be. Yeah, about the edge of the map here. Yeah, I might get my stuff back after all. I'm just going to go for the direct route this time. I mean, I've got all the refinery skills, so I should have a recipe for it. Unless you have to cook it instead? Though, come to think of it, that's also just that's the stuff you can make by hand tree, isn't it? That's not necessarily everything that can be made. So I will need to go back and check out those crafting tables later. Planet, it's alive. Okay, yeah, this is where I went in. Yay. I must have just popped in looking completely the wrong direction for... that's a mining beam. AV, combat roll. Ah, okay. So, best way to use tool benches, be in free cursor mode. I do believe I have some more options available here now. Thinking I was also grabbing something else too. Where if I see it right down in here. Platinum, pitch blend, platinum. Okay, so whatever it is not called just plastic. Discovered naturally or made a refinery from rock or wood, refines carbon. Carbon. No descriptions. And not enough methane to do anything with. I mean, I could ask for someone to dance for a bit, but hey, let's go social anxiety. Let's keep my wounds. Thank you very much. They're preferable to talking to someone right now. It's only been 2 games so far, V. Yeah, you haven't got a key for this, though. Can't really help right now, can you? I'm sure you would if you could, though. Oh my. Sure, let's go for it. Let's see what D-Dan says. You know you wanted to get on and play some of this anyway. And this does not count as help, is it purely in-game action. Which... I mean, it's not handing over resources. Close enough. My principles are flexible, okay? On the way. Oh. Oh, no. Okay. No. All right. So it does eventually go away over long enough periods of time. You squat? Or is this some random person? What's control that? R. Right. Okay. Your machine is supposed to be a good one. I thought it would load faster. kind of getting mobility gear from Attack on Titan vibes off of these grapples. Nothing that shows tool battery for the grappling hooks. Well, can't call them hooks, but you know what I mean. Hey! There's a guy. Nice moves. So I guessed. And away he goes. Now remember, for those that enjoyed that little fancy dance, you can tip Controlled Chaos over on his YouTube channel. Singles are accepted. More is probably good as well. Stop shooting at me. You can't hit anything. We played this game before. I'm pretty sure I won that time. Darn, couldn't bury him. I mean, what? Okay, so the charge bolt does not have good turning radius there. Or maybe just don't shoot while they're moving. Okay. Maybe just been leg for it not wanting to work nicely beforehand. Because now the charge bolts are actually behaving themselves. Good night, V. Have a good sleep. I'll be going for, well, basically till they close the servers down, about another hour or so. Let's see. What do you want to do with this? Let's see, your stream's not up. All right, go ahead, I accept. Let's see what happens. Or did you just completely misclick on something? And she might just be gone entirely. One hand, let's... Oh, Alphons. Angry Alphons. Well, they attacked, so therefore it's okay to shoot them back. Even if they are cute. And vicious. This is why you don't mess with herbivores, people. They are pack critters and have no care for themselves, so it means the pack survives. Okay, so you cannot sneak with an item out. Okay, yes, that's the cats over there. Yeah, that's just sand, huh? Alright. One of these does not look like the other. Okay, that glass. Yeah, critter. Got anyone who's just off on their own? We'll pick off a straggler like a good predator should. And I mean that in the natural sense, not in some sort of creepy sense. Herbivore meats. Oh man, I can make lunch. Need to find more gas bags like that one I see floating around here. Ooh, kill streaks. Nice. Alright, I'm gonna need at least 10 methane to get the first refining in on it. I got 6 there. Just want to add more. Okay, yeah, this is where the meteor hit. That's why that's entirely chunked apart like it is. Yeah, this is just a really weird blending mode. Yeah, mess around with that again later. But probably the best way to do it would be just to get Vignon to actually, because it does spout output. So technically, I can just tell it, good, Seribot, zap that. Caged laboratory key smash. Yeah. Boardmaster. Sounds fun. Let's see if I die horribly. Before I do that, let's save my backpack. Now I can die without fear. Okay, yeah, that's the world wall. Okay, and the marker just gives the general area, because that... a master of hordes. Shield! You jerk. Like, need to build an arena like Terraria for the boss fights. Alright, that burning tree is not my fault. Naturalists blame the giant monster. Immune to on fire. Yes, I would like my stamina to restore, please. Preferably quickly. Oh, he heals too. Okay, so you cannot eternally kite a boss. That is definitely a you're not going to solo this dude fight. At least not without making some much better grade equipment. Which isn't currently an option. Alright, I need gas bags that are not boss monsters. I need methane. Or I could actually do the smart thing, and oil and shale are things that actually exist. Let's take a look. Oh, schist. Yeah, cool. That'll work. Hey, Smurg, how's it going? My interface plant, it's fine. Oh, hey, there's Critter. I was looking for you. More methane, yay. Okay, so they just like spawning in this area. Now I'm gonna see what that stuff is. That feels coalish, oilish. What are you? Lapis. I'll take your word for it. Oh, nice. Gaining a reliable tabletop group is always difficult and always rewarding. Admittedly, most of my own groups is kind of my own fault for recently, but hey, we're working on that. So 4th edition, I hadn't really seen a... It's figured either people were staying back on 3 or moved on to 5. Cool. Didn't really expect anyone to be sticking with 4th. Always seemed a lot more kind of a big tactical focus on it there. Is that... Or have you got a working... Like... No. Maybe I should ask a question like lead an assumption like that. So, how as well as that played for you? And no, I'm not just grabbing this entire deposit because I like blue. Despite the name. I may or may not be lying. Yeah, once the stuff's lit, okay, now it makes sense. It's the natural lighting there. Man, that's cool. Unless your group finds something that vibes with you all, go for it. Edition wars, or there's really no winner whenever something like that happens. All about finding whatever suits your game the best. Yeah, let's go fill in down here. Different set of sound effects. Okay, it's just the startup sound. Exactly there, Smurg. And if you find one where it's just almost right, but not quite there, that's what house rules are for. That's completely defacing this mountain. Where my skills are at. Okay. I can grab a couple points out of this. Ah. Only when I'm in camp, though. Right. So, Smirk, what brings you over by this side on here? Are you is focused over on the game or rolling around VTuber side? I'm kind of wondering what brought you in, because don't recognize your name. Maybe I should, but I'm bad at that. Okay, that's where it would pop up. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I want a glider so much right here. Swoop across. I suppose that's basically... The fire's still going. And still got another 11 minutes for the Horde Master. Ah. Oh, nice to see another one of your names then. That would explain how you got here. Well, welcome in, welcome in. Alright, so I can use some chert there. Okay, yes, that is staying the same. And so, 2 stages down gets me to... Where's my iron? Incomplete iron. That work. Okay. I'm glad you're here. You're saying incomplete iron. How does that make sense? Alright, got my little bit of exhaustion back. Definitely, parkour course would actually work pretty nicely in this, with the way they've got movement going. Oh, that is one of the paths we can take. Going. Yeah, the local naturalist representatives here. Should I call you Gunk? Want me to call you Starry? And yeah, it's definitely a lot to uncover on here. A couple things are a little too still, but hey, it's still early days. Can't expect a perfect... Critter, let's kill this. Can't expect a perfect interface in pre-alpha. That guy just dropped. Now, there may be a slight forest fire over in that direction. I swear to you, it is not my fault. I did not light the fires. I did not start the fire. But it was not always burning. That was when the giant monster tried to fricassee me and missed. Okay, peat goes deep. That's good to know. I don't need to spread out over this entire area and ruin all the terrain. I just need to ruin this one small spot. Yeah, unfortunately, you'll probably notice I'm a bit more of a mercenary than I am a naturalist. And once I have the capability of restoring things, I'm sure I will. But early days, as a developing character, you just gotta take what you can get. Okay, I should be able to refine that down a few notches. And yes, I could make a camp there, but I'm choosing not to. Especially because there's a couple other ones already on the spot, and I don't have the skills built up for it. Alright. Got here. It's supposed to bake down. Won't add enough. Resources. That's rock. Refinery. Good enough here. Other... 9 I know I saw a recipe for that. And there should be. Peat is... There's a reason peat bogs get harvested over on this side of things, because good carbon traps. That's where I saw it. So picking it up was actually completely counterproductive. I need to get chronophasing going first. Then I can go in there, turn it into coal, grab it. Then probably have a way to gasify the coal down. Carbon, wash coal into coke. Now then, obviously, coke and iron should make steel. Iron. I'm sure there's use for coke somewhere inside here. But then carbon should bake. Oh, let's see what skills I got going. Oh, that's a good chunk. All right, chronophasing, that'll be useful. Have the basic one, though. Do I need to make something for that? I suppose I'll find out. Yield, hopper. And let's do terraforming just so I can put the peat back instead of wasting it. Move it. Now, where was that? That's flowchart. Harvester terraform. It almost seems like it should be an object. Well, maybe not. Could just be a feature of the terraformer. Let's find out. Terraformer, pull out, extract, deposit, chronophase, perfect. Back to the peat bog, put the peat back, and then age it up. Random combat roll purely because I can. And again, the sassy servitors. Pause it. Well, they've got to where it actually restores the grass, too, sometimes. That's something that's missing in a lot of various terrain deformations. When the most foliage decals go away, you don't get them back ever. Peak Duber. Okay. And now, chronophase, lithify, or erode. Okay, advanced research. Okay, so lithify would take it back, erode breaks it down. Okay, peat liquefies into coal, then you heat it into graphite. So I want lithify here. Okay, so it's just straight. It's not a maintain the thing. Oh, and then that's heat mode. Burn. for that to cool off. Can't artificially cool it with this. It kind of makes sense given, thermodynamics and all. Coal. Peat. Dig. Oh, there's sandstone under that. Yay. Wonder how deep it makes it. Fine coal. No, it doesn't seem to making a difference here. I've got all this coal here, but you say this are the chunks of it. No, I don't want prospect. I want extract. Definitely a forward tab and back tab for tool modes. Is that an option? Can I shift? Nope. Oh, smiley face. My beard. That doesn't quite work how I'd hoped it would. We're just leaving a mess now. Yeah, either being able to do a back tab to be able to cycle through easier there, or hotkeys. Let me jump straight to a specific tool mode. Given the feel on here is that it's going for controller compatibility. 1 second. There's my voice going for a moment there. Anyway, feel is that it's going for controller compatibility, which again is a good thing. I've seen descriptions of it that makes it a lot easier for people to rig up their accessibility options, and also makes it so you don't have to be just on PC, so wider audience. Good things for everyone. So, since we don't have an infinite number of hotkeys on a controller, that is where the radial menu comes in. Yeah, give me like this hold down tab. Give me a radial menu so I can just quick select out of there, snap over, get some muscle memory back that way rather than having to cycle through each time. That would make life a whole lot easier. Slurp the coal. Get some peat by accident, which I'll just plant back down and age that up again. Diamond asteroids. Where are you fallen? Nowhere near here, apparently. Let's not get distracted. So if they've got the procedures right, you should be able to make diamonds. Because, I mean, you've got coal. Adding pressure. I have to wonder just how that would come in. Oh, that event did not last long. Now, if you get 2 people with terraformers, if you get some like a gravity modification, add pressure, then another one hits it with heat. That way you can turn coal into diamonds. There's a bit of hand waving for why it happens in realistic time spans instead of geological ones. Or you... Oh. Little birdie. Fine. Multiple horde boards here, without an alert. Alright. Here you go. Have fun. Dislike my critique of your control scheme. You did not have to send critters after me. Hey, Strawberry. Welcome in. Yeah, I must have, Chaos. 2 of them. Oh. No worries. I have no idea what some of the origins are for mine. We have a fun mix. But yeah, Endo's completely welcome. Yep. Out of charge. Can't quite say out of bullets because it doesn't really apply. Come on. More zap juice and more run juice, please. Alright, good enough. Keep him busy so he doesn't go back into healing mode and waste this entire time. Oh. Wonder if... Well, Toki did some damage to that other one. Wonder if it killed him. Fine. 2-on-1 just means more targets. Bring it on. Oh, there's Toki. Still alive. Nice to see. Well, I can do 2-on-1. I'd rather not have to. Pop the fireballs. Little hot. A little out of zappy. I think these ones are actually a little bit easier than the event spawned ones, so that's nice. At least they're not quite full power, even though there's still no pushover. Come on, more charge. More charge. Yeah, drop that shield. Ow. Okay, getting a little too cocky. Yeah, I want the finishing blow on that guy. Loot and exploders. Wonderful. Okay, that already hogs a bit tougher than they normally are. At least judging by the one that I found before. Boom, boom, 5, zap. 3. Okay. Work on that timing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoot. 4. Almost got me there. Okay. Need to evade a bit more. They seem angry. Yeah, I fought a deep purple one. I hope there's some skills that stamina recover faster, because that is essential in this. At least how I'm fighting these guys. Landing points being assaulted over there. Hey, I'm doing my part. Anyone else here can handle the others. Get zapped. Oh, come on. Hillary's still angry. And it's healed up partially. Okay, you're just flying around being annoying. You're not actually doing anything. Artie, when I'm not aiming at you, you attract the shot. When I'm aiming at you, you keep dodging. Okay, that's what his game is. Oop. Time for some more evasion. Yoink. Now this guy. Oh, now he's standing and fighting. I will try to pick you up. Yep. Okay, no patience. But that's fair. Also not like I was in voice chat with him. Boom. Well, skip jumps tend to be very nice for covering distance quickly. Better than the dodge roll. Yeah, no iframes on that. Okay. Nothing currently trying to kill me. Fight going on up here. Get healed up a bit first. I'll go check that area out. See if they need some more help. Oh, they still got the Horde Lord going. Okay. They got a grudge or something. Oh, thank you for your base there, Machine Odd. It may be slightly exploded. That is not my fault. I hope this cave gets out of here. I'm not going back out that way. Hey, an exit. Nice. Oh! Hello. That was just mean. Fine. Gotta fight you to get out of here? Then I'll fight. Ow. Okay. Time to stretch out a bit. He is camping me. I don't think I'd actually picked up anything since my last save. I guess we can see what happens when we got multiple death markers then. Alright, maybe not. I'll just grab that one. Red Zeppelin. This guy's evolving on us. Jeez. Oof. Okay. Yay. Okay, so let's see. Multiple death crates. Because it was down here. Okay, so either it deletes previous one. Yeah. Yeah, missed. I don't know what this stuff is anyway. Shirt. Alright. Okay. Plan burial him alive did not work. Burying people down works fine on yourself. Not so much on them. Ow. Okay. Alright, important stuff's back anyway. Didn't really have anything much down there. And we do know it'll only track one death chest. Hopefully it stacks them all together. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Anyway, what have I got left after all that? Alright, that's cool I picked up. Magnesium steel panels. Brass panels. Oh, uranium. Nice. Lapis. Where my skills at? Okay. Oh, that got my combat XP up nicely. I want to do drones. Boom, boom. Grab those now. I can actually use them anyway. Oh, next fight that will come in handy. Grav mesh, yes. Technology. Yeah, let's grab more yield here. Oh, that was invigorating. Okay, so I can turn coal into methane. Methane have I already got right now. 15 should be enough to turn into something. Stove, hello stove. There we go. Okay, that's power cell. And, alright, it's just the consumables, which makes sense. Okay. Fair point here. Oh, okay. Put the lime and coconut. Focus, which nothing's currently using. Ow. Squirt the juice directly into your eye. And get focus back. I think I'll pass on that. Okay, fungus and bones. So I'd have to hunt down fungi to be able to make that. Give it an actual stamina booster. That would be good for later. Once I can cook it, which I can't at the moment. Where are those recipes under, I wonder? Oh. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, it says that here. Unless they baked it under the camping sets. Okay, I mean, I could make meat kebab, so let's just... Here, but it's already unlocked as well, so that doesn't really help my question. And... Right, because consumable menu's locked because that wasn't complete according to the patch notes, so it's going to grab off of whatever's in the order. So you have to reorder on here. All right. Okay, and then there's all those. Yeah, so you got a radial menu. Now we just need one for tool options. Okay. Oh, huh. Time flies. Only 20 minutes left on this. And still have not yet found how to make plastic. Let's see, I mean, I've got the options on it here, so let's go ahead. Whip out the terraformer. Deposit some coal. Let's see what I can mess around with. Ah, okay, so you have to, so it has to be oil into plastic, so you have to make oil first. I thought, oil turns into carbon. Hmm. Okay, so shale breaks down into oil. I wonder, can I turn something into shale? Okay. No. Okay, so it's erode sand into clay. Then that is a bad color against it. Lithify down into shale. If that's the case... Alright, that's sand. Clay. My coal back. Lith. Shale. Okay. I'm going to need to do some bigger work than that. There's some nice big pocket of it. Can I spam this or will it do something else to it? Nope. Okay, different process to move out from there. So I can spam the heck out of this. That's right, that anti-gravium lands right where I'm working. And yes, it's nice, it's high tier, but my goal for this stream is to end tonight with at least 1 unit of plastic. Okay, I'm probably going to want at least 45 shale. That will allow me to refine down 3 times if it's a standard rates. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, okay, we'll see if 30 is enough. Ah, 20 per bit, so I will only get 1 unit out here. So that would turn into carbon. Okay, so you... Oh no, so shale you make clay from, but then it goes the other direction there. Or let's go ahead and make that anyway. Okay, so I got me some oil. A little bit. Refinery from rock. Wood refines to carbon. Okay, I will do carbon. I will do it from coal instead. So I have both of them on there. I can take a look. There should probably actually be blue on there. Ores. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. No entries for oil. Somewhere a little flat to work. Did say liquids are not something that can be picked up currently, though. Let's see what happens. What happens is I just need to go do that whole sequence again a bit more. And okay, I can't deposit it anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Alright, so it is not a terraform tool to actually convert that. Well, let's go ahead and get more here. Okay, I lithify a bunch of guys. And I may... Yep, I was doing this in the wrong order. I want to erode first and then lithify. And a bunch of that's probably shale already anyway, but whatever. Good old dirt. And I need to dump some stuff. Oh, and now... Let's go up here. I've got a decent view of things. Slurp. Yeah, Chaos, I've got oil. Only 10 units of it, which might not be enough for anything at this point. So I'm getting more shale that I can bake down. Okay, that should give me another few units here. Okay, 30 pieces. Okay, no, okay, so 20 pieces then gets plastic. Ah, so that's how they hit it. Yay, 10 plastic. Goal achieved with 7 minutes to spare. Ooh. Urban plastic. There's the thing I was looking for, which was... That's not what I... Oh, it's also the refiner. I wouldn't be able to do it anyway. So, I think of the game here. And I see the roots for a lot of good systems. A lot of those systems are going to feel a bit more obtuse until the interface is more final. But the core mechanics behind it, I do definitely appreciate. I can see where they're going to lead. For the, like, kind of for the homestead building on here, I mean, I suppose we'll have to see, because like you'd said, there's supposed to be like hundreds and hundreds of skills showing up later on down the line. So with what they've got now of, okay, just build up the camp, get these crafting stations automatically. It's certainly convenient. It does make life easier. I like building factories. I can just make a nice big processing center, just take all my raw material, dump it in one end, and then receive at least refined materials at the other end, if not actually finished products. That's kind of the sort of thing that I like to build, which is why, like my Minecraft mod packs, they tend to just be just tons and tons of technical mods on there. That's why I've got so much time over in Factorio. That's why I'm probably going to be going back into Satisfactory for a bit as well on it there. But that may be nowhere at all in the design for what these people have for this game. So we'll have to see. The actual collection side of things on there. Once you've got the whole chrono shifting, it feels, I mean, because you've got that entire transformation tree, I'm wondering if that's going to wind up trivializing material gathering, at least as far as minerals go. Since it looks like there's a route to basically change any base ground type into anything. Like with the shale, it's like, all right, it seems like it should be rare, hard to find. Except desert plant, you can just walk out on any patch of sand, do a couple transformations, and there you go, as much as you want. So up for the automated crafting on there, Chaos? Yeah, I'll see if I can bring myself to mention it, or if I'll just have to rely on some dev lasting through 3 hours of random trans girl stream and see if they get to this point. But it looks like servers are about to go down on here. And overall, I would say it has been a fun 3 hours. I definitely want to see where the game comes to as development gets along. I'm not sure if it's going to become a regular thing at this point of the build. just, I mean, one, it's working around the timing around when the servers are open for testing. But there are doing that on days I plan on streaming as well, so that isn't so much of an issue, really, but it's fun, but I'm not sure if it's hit full-time fun yet. I see the potential of it getting there, definitely. And I do want to see it reach that. Its current state? Well, again, it's pre-alpha. You cannot judge the final product by what it's got right now. It's kind of a question of, am I going to want to stick around in the testing state for that when I've got so very much other stuff that I can and need to do as well? That's going to be a tough balance to figure out. But got a few more days before the next test comes up anyway, so I got time to think on that. Along with, as a few people I'll be more concerned with here, making sure everything's ready for tomorrow's tabletop game. Going in a completely different direction for things. But I do think it's been a good 3 hours. And, well, heck, before we go, let's see what space is like. If I can make it through, which I apparently cannot. Alas. No space. I've got someone's stuff just loading there. Yeah, their Pathfinder. Yeah, that is something I didn't spend as much time with, was going around on the Pathfinder hunting things. I could see it being interesting. A little bare bones at the moment still now. And also a little on the buggy side. Ah. Yeah, unfortunately, I do not believe I'm going to have time to see if that workaround works here. But hey, next time if I jump in, maybe we'll go space. That's a good 3 hour stretch I've been sitting without a break too, which normally not an issue, but I think I'm going to go ahead and call it over here. Oh. Alright, yeah. We'll go for another test day then. We've got even more planets to poke around than just this and whatever they got for space. That is definitely going to be worth looking into. And I gotta do whatever test is going on that has got my top completely blending in with the game's terrain. That is not something I was expecting to see today. But that has been Stars Reach. I am Xavier Azure. And let's see if this time I can actually find someone to go ahead and raid out to. Let's see. Still going. I mean, to be fair, I've got a lot of people that I'm following at the moment. I don't think anyone else is doing this, and if they are, they'll be ending soon anyway. Let's see, I've got 2 people doing long-running streams that are unfortunately kind of in sleep mode at the moment. Let's take a look here. Oh, hey, Rose is awake and is back over in Final Fantasy right now. Oh, you know what? Been a while since I've done anything over on her side, so I should, if I remember the commands. Yes, here we go. Raid to Rose _ Velnier. I do not have any sort of raid message, so just be nice, say hi, and I will, whoever comes back tomorrow, I will see you then. Have a good night, everyone.